so much for joining me. I just was over live in my private crafting group on Facebook, Prairie Scraps Chalkin', and I did just a special sale just for my members of that group. So if you're interested in that, go look me up, Prairie Scraps Chalkin'. Join and answer all the questions for me so that I know who you are, where you came from, and all that kind of stuff. Check it out. I did a live little, got rid of, posted all my flannels that I have left, kind of clearing some out. And so you can go watch that and see all the details of that. So today we are going to do a little bunny buddy project. It's the February club project for Chalk Couture. I'm an independent Chalk Couture designer, and I forgot what I was, but I am excited to every month that we have a monthly craft club that comes right to your doorstep, and the shipping is included, so it's like $24.95, which includes the shipping. So this month is so much fun. I'm so excited to do it. I was excited for it to come as soon as I saw that we were getting it. It's called Bunny Buddies, and there's two little bunnies that you can make out of fabric. They're a little like cut out. There's one is got its ears going in an upward position, and then the other one, and you know what, I was not thinking that I need to find some cotton balls maybe so I could put a little bunny tail on him, right? Like you need bunny tails. And then the other one has a little folded over ear on it. So and it comes with the stuffing in the kit. So you have the stuffing, you have enough to do 2 of these little stuffies, and then you get 2 ink packets for this project so that it's permanent ink. We're going to use Couture Couture Coral and Berry. And I'm actually going to use a different one, Regal. It's very close. Look at how close that is. You can't even tell. And then I've also got a jar of the Couture Coral. So stay tuned. We're going to do that. The other thing you get with, besides your surface and 2 or 3 paste packets or inks, with your project, you also get an exclusive transfer that's a B-size transfer. So it's 8.5 by 11 size transfer. And this is reusable up to 12 times. So that is what we are going to use to do our little bunnies and do a little pattern on them for today. So I'm just going to go ahead and get going. This is a quick and easy project. A lot of fun to do with some kids if you have some kids or your grandkids. And if you had some like bunny cutouts or flower cutouts, you could use this pattern on anything. You can make, it would be so fun to make like a little bunting or pennant, sign type of thing too with shapes. Maybe some Dollar Tree shapes or whatever. I don't know. Does Dollar Tree have the shapes anymore? That's what I've been trying to figure out. So the first thing I'm going to do is, you can see there's just a very faint line here. That's a cut line. I'm going to cut that apart so that I can use it. Hello, Jacqueline. Good to see you. So there's polka dot and there's a plaid. I guess I was thinking it was buffalo check, but it's actually a plaid. So that's exciting. It's a small plaid. I need this small plaid. So we're just going to cut down that cut line as best as we can here, and get these separated. And if I was going to be using these for the first time on wood or glass or something like that, hello, Lily is so silly. I love that. All right. And we're going to do one of these rabbits with the polka dots and one with the plaid. So I think it's going to be fun. And I'm going to do both sides because why not? Why not? Unfortunately, we can't set them side by side. We're going to have to just kind of use it twice is what we're going to do. So, all right, let's start with and I'm going to leave this transfer right on the backing because that kind of prevents me from making I'll wipe it off probably at some point off of the transfer or the backing, but I don't know. It just, you can see it easier, I think. So I'm just putting this in here. I maybe should have ironed it first, but I took it out of the packet and we're gonna go with it. Took it out of the package just this way. Okay, polka dots. Exciting. And you could use any sort of pattern whatsoever. You could do whatever you wanted with it. I'm going to leave these super simple and just use it in my house as a little decoration. So just fun. Fun to do. Like I said, this would be really fun with kids. And you could use like actually, instead of putting them together, like I'm going to glue these together to make a little stuffy, but you could use these like on a lumbar pillowcase and glue them down with a little bit of stuffing behind them and make them 3D on that. That would also work. All right, let's get our ink open. Our ink is non-toxic. Hi, Bella. Good to see you. Thanks for joining in. Our ink is permanent once you heat set it. So we're going to use it to do this pattern on these. And then you would want to heat set that so that they were ready to go. And I guess I don't have my heat setter in here, so that's not going to happen. I'm not too worried because these are not something that I would probably wash anyway. They're not going to go to the kids to play with or anything. Nobody's going to be drooling on it. Let's just say that. So I'm just doing, picking up my ink. Let me put you down a little bit. Oh, I guess you can see pretty good. Picking up the ink on my squeegee, and the squeegee comes with your first month's club transfer. And just check it out below. I have all the links for club down below, and so it's a great deal because it includes the shipping here in the United States. So $24.95, and you get everything you need to complete a project. So this month, if you sign up this month, you will get this project. So that's kind of fun. All right, let's just peel this off to reveal. So there's 3 steps to chalking or inking, and I could see that these did not get very dark. So I'm gonna just lay it back down before I go too far and just put a little bit more ink on there. I want it to be nice and vibrant. This is kind of fun because you're like designing your own fabric in a way. It's kind of fun to do that. Your little wipe. It is non-toxic ink, and like I said, it is permanent when you heat set it. Might get a little heat setting done when we dry it. Hello, Jessica. Thank you for joining in. And user KN4N, whatever. Thank you. It is kind of cool. And this is, like I said, every month you get something in the mail. It's new, it's exclusive. You cannot purchase the parts. And actually, if you're a Perks member, you get the club for 30% off. Plus all your purchases for 30% off. So there's the links down below, club and Perks. All right, I'm just, as long as I've got this up, I'm going to go ahead and put back down the other, no, oh, I better pay attention because there is a tail part and we want to make sure we are printing on the correct side. So I'm just going to put this back under here, and it's okay if they don't match up exactly, and we're going to get a little bit of this ink on the other side because I'm sticking it between them, but easier to clean the backing up than my, I think we got that. Just trying to get it all pushed down here. This bright colors, they're going to be pretty permanent. This is a silk transfer, so you can get really nice detail with the silk transfer because there's fabric, you know, there's silk all the way through. So that's why I love them. It just has such beautiful designs. I'm excited about these little bunnies. All right, I do have it all over my fingers, but I'm just going to go ahead and do this. So the first step is you just want to place your, there's 3 P's really for using our transfers. The first P is to place your transfer on your surface, and in this case it's the little pre-cut bunny. And I'm gonna have to, I'm like racking my brain while talking to try to find, I'm trying to think where I would have some little pom-poms to put on the back side of this bunny. I don't know who feels the need to run through the neighborhood whenever I'm on with their loud, they're doing it all the time here. I don't know. Get your muffler fixed. That's what I have to say. All right, and then I'm just putting back whatever I'm not using, setting that aside, closing up the ink, and I will be ready to use the next time. If you get the singles packets in the kit, all you have to do is mix it up really good, you know, pinch it, and then just cut a corner off. And if you don't use it all in one use, you can go ahead and just kind of let that edge dry, and it will close it off. So it's going to be for way more than one project. You definitely could do this on backgrounds of signs or tags, or you could even use different colors and, you know, make some Valentines out of this, cut out some hearts, whatever. So cute. So you place it, paste it, or in this case, we inked it. Isn't that cute? And then peel to reveal. That's it. 3 steps. Easy peasy. All right, so we got that one done. You see how that is? Now I'll just take this inside and wash it with just plain water with a little bit of like a really soft brush or something, or one of our board erasers. Our board erasers look like this, and you just wipe it off and it will come right off. And then you can dry it sticky side up for about 20 minutes and put it back on the backing, and it's ready to go for like 12 more times. Well, we've used it twice, but I think you can at least do 12 more times. Okay, let's do the other little bunny here. He's really wrinkly, which is okay. It'll work. I think these would, I saw somebody that had used these and put them on a pillow, like use the fabric glue on the pillowcase and kind of stuff them on the, just made a little stuffy. So you actually get to make 4 of them, which is a really cute idea. Tempting. Okay. I just want to make sure his ear is down correctly here, because we want to get this whole guy done. And when you put it down, when you place it, you want to make sure you don't have any air bubbles or anything. So you just push it down, make sure all the air bubbles are out. Air bubbles will make your ink kind of slip underneath and mess up your pattern. So you want to have it just nice down, not down nice and firm. I am leaving it on the backing just to save myself some mess. And like I said, this is so quick and easy. Look, we're like 10 minutes into this. With 2 of the sides done, we'll do the other side as well. So this is the same color that comes in the kit. You'll just get a singles packet. I'm just using my already open one. And this is an ink. So cute. And I'm excited about having this little plaid. It's going to be used everywhere. You can make tags, you can make signs. Our patterns are repeatable, so you can set it right next door to it and it will line up. No problem. Side by side. So if you do one, you know, if you did something rectangle or you needed to do something bigger than the piece, you could keep repeating the pattern. Now this one is kind of soaking up. I can tell that it's soaking up some of the ink, so I'm having to be sure I cover all the areas really good. Because even those lighter areas, we want to get all the lines in on there. Seriously? Now the neighbor dog is howling. I don't know what is going on. I don't know what's going on. It's crazy. He sounds like not doing well. Okay, this one's pretty thick, so be careful. If you get some on your fingers, you want to be careful what you touch, because you don't want to get ink all over and fingerprint everything. Ask me how I know. I'm a messy crafter. Oh my gosh, I do love that one a lot. Isn't that cute? All right, set that aside. Maybe I should start with that one. That one's kind of thick. I actually like it on the thinner side, but all right, his ear is curling up. It's so heavy. Definitely got it all over. Check your fingers before you go on to the next piece. Probably got it on my Band-Aid, you know. Doing all I can for the cause of crafting. Maybe I'll just, oh, I need to make sure, because you know, to glue them together, I want to have the ears going the same way. So this is, it's complicated, this little. This one needs a little tail, so I'm going to have to find. I'm going to not worry about going so thick on this round, because the thick, you can't see the different textures actually as well where I went thick. So we're not going to worry about that as much. I usually, you know, like doing this, you know, same color twice on the transfer. You can usually do it twice. I don't usually push my luck with 3 times. Sometimes I do, but I would, you know, more tongue-in-cheek, knowing that it might not turn out well. All right, we're going to try to get all those bubbles out really well. It's hard to tell the second time around. So if you were worried about, you know, having bubbles and stuff under here, just work to get them out, I guess, is all I have to say. Hello, hello, Caitlin. Good, glad you're here. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. And like I said, go over and join my VIP group on Facebook. If you can look me up, Prairie Scraps Chalkin'. But do subscribe here and give me a little heart. Help me out. I'm a small business person. I just try to share with you all kinds of crafting ideas. I am an independent designer for Chalk Couture. So this club you can sign up for with Chalk Couture, and if you want a discount on it, 30% off, you can become a Perks member. Perks members get 30% off all their orders, and then sometimes some special deals and freebies and things like that extra. So go check it out. Trying to make sure I get the whole bunny. I didn't line him up the same way. I turned him upside down, so it's hard to tell where he is. You want to be careful so you don't get your shirt into it, because you will get ink. I did make this shirt, by the way. You can make shirts with our ink. You can do glass and bake it, or use the Cricut, you know, press for. You want to use the Cricut, the one for ceramic glasses, I guess. I don't know. I always just bake it. Throw glass into the oven. I definitely like this more where it just sort of goes light. All right, so there you see. I'm going to have to wipe that down when I clean this up, because we don't want to leave that ink on the backing, because then forevermore you'll probably grab that ink. All right, we're going to set that aside so I'm not making a mess out of myself. Wish me luck. And we're going to set these down and get them a little more dry. And probably in the process of drying, we're going to end up getting it tangled up in the cords. We will end up getting it more, actually a little heat set. I feel like it's on my elbow, but it was, I leaned on my wipe. All right, let's see if we can get this dried up without blowing it everywhere. So tell me, are you in the Easter mood? Or are you still in, I mean, it is Valentine's Day this weekend. Do you guys celebrate Valentine's? Put V-Day or a heart if you do. Any big plans for Valentine's Day? And I know we're getting into Easter, but if you want to have your Easter things made for Easter, you got to start ahead of time and make sure you order your Easter supplies ahead of time. So that's why this one's the February Craft Club, so that you have it in time for Easter. Like I said, I'm going to be looking hard for some little pom-poms. I think I might have packed them away with my Christmas stuff. I don't know. It would definitely look really cute with a little pom-pom for the tail. And I know I have white ones somewhere. Just don't know where. We could also make our own little pom-pom out of yarn. I have the tool for that too. We had a tool for making pom-poms and tassels. I think it was tassels. I definitely haven't used that in a long time. That might be a little big though. But you can make tassels like, or pom-poms kind of like on your fingers, or, you know, tie them up. I think I have any. I do kind of need an iron for this because it's curly. Curly, curly. I always think making Easter crafts is so much fun. I do like them. I also like doing the Valentine's. I don't really want to make a big deal out of Valentine's Day so much, but I always end up doing something. Try not to make... It is kind of a Hallmark holiday, so... I made those Valentine's. If you go back on my channel here, I did make some Valentine's up for my club and VIP or perks members. I made some Valentines and sent them out, so I'm hoping they're getting them just in time for Valentine's Day. I'm excited to hear what they think about it. I made my own, and then I teach music out of my home studio, and so I made all my students a little Valentine's card. I think this one's going to be pretty close to dry here. This one doesn't seem to be coming off. These are the thicker ones. Thicker in paste anyway, not thicker in fabric. Or thicker in ink, I mean. Okay. Now we need a hot glue gun, and you could use just a regular hot glue gun. My experience, fabric doesn't usually come apart with the hot glue gun, but you can also get, you can also use the Fabri-Tac glue in the bottle, or you could get some there's hot glue sticks for fabric, or you can use Fabri-Tac. So any of those options. All right, make sure I did them correctly here. Oh, I guess it's the same on both sides. This one's the same both ways. Maybe this one is too. I was thinking there was a right and a wrong. Oh, there is, because of the bunny ear. That would be sad if I did it wrong. So that's my pre-warning. If you get this month's this month's club project, make sure your folded ear bunnies are going in correctly. All right, I'm gonna just set these up here so they're ready to go. You kind of get the idea. This is not a super hard project, but it's super fun. Get our hot glue gun going. You could make little tags for this. You could make these, make some other little eggs or something, or, alternate them on a little banner or a, garland. That's what I'm trying to come up with. Garland. And I'm totally good with this being pretty, they're actually I love these. These are going to be so fun to use these transfers over and over and over again. I think I'm going to kind of have this sitting in front of the heater, so I don't want it to dry. Boy, that heater is running pretty hard right now. If this looks weird to you and you haven't watched me before, I am in my 1953 Airstream camper. It's a smaller camper, and so that's why it looks sort of strange, because I have my own space, and I'm very thankful for that, but it's small. Just waiting for the hot glue gun here. So that was Regal, the color I used, but you will get Berry, which is a super close color in this kit. So see how close that is? Super, super close. And then everything is washable. Well, except these. These will be permanent. The ink should be permanent. And if you were wanting it to be really permanent, like concerned about that, you could make sure that you iron it before you move on to the next, to gluing it, because you don't want to iron it once you put the polyfill in it. You just want to iron it before. I feel like I never really got any Valentine's. I did do quite a few Valentine's projects, but I have like a whole bin of Valentine's. I think this is going. I have a whole, I'm going to do this guy's ears here. I do, just from experience, it is hard to get hot glue or any glue on fabric and then to stuff it. So I'm thinking, because I want to have a little poly stuffing in the ears, I'm going to just do the ears here really quick. Hopefully I didn't wait too long on that ear. Oh, I did. I didn't even get that hot. It might not be hot enough. It can be hard to get the polyfill in there once you get it glued in small spaces. So that's going to be the hardest thing about it. Okay, we got that ear done. So I'm just doing the ears here and making sure I get those closed up. I think my heat gun was not hot enough yet. Or it cooled off too quickly. One of the two. It happens. It's okay, it's just crafting, right? Make sure we got this side here. And then I'm going to put a little polyfill here into the ears so that they stand up. You could even put a little wire in there too if you wanted, but I'm not going to be that fancy. We don't need to be. All right, I like the fact that they put this polyfill into a Ziploc bag, so we can contain the beast once we're done. All right, let's see. I'm going to use a polyfill, kind of like can expand it a little bit, so as you pull it out, you kind of like pick at it and air it out. Let's see. Are we making progress here? It's slipping off. The polyfill is so slippery, it's like coming out. It's not going in. See, this is why we're doing the ears right away. I don't know if it's like spring fever going on outside or what. I'm just hearing all kinds of noises. Maybe it's like, I don't know when we spring ahead and finally get not so dark at night. People are squirrely, I guess, tonight. It's not even Friday, but it is sort of Friday in our town because the kids don't have school on Fridays. So things kind of... Guys, I am not doing great with getting this in here. I don't want to use a pen because that'll... I need like a tweezers or something to grab onto it and push it in. I'm not doing great with this. I'm telling you. This is not... I want his ears to stand up. It's going in, it's not glued shut. I mean, that's something I do imagine myself doing for sure. Oofta. This is more work than I thought it was. I thought this was gonna be I always I always kind of fail at this. I'm not gonna lie, this is not the first time I'm gonna try to this stuff is so this polyfill is so slippery. If you have ideas on how to get it into small places, I think I've seen people use like those they're the kind of the pliers that you use for getting fish hooks out of the fish mouth. They're kind of long, a long nose. I've seen people do that for small areas. That would be great. I know we have them in the tackle boxes, which I would not want to use here because they've definitely been inside. They definitely have fish guts in them around here for sure. But we also had one that was used in people's mouths because they used them to do the little rubber bands in their braces. Well, I'm glad I'm doing this before I close up the entire bunny because it would be really hard to get these up into the bunny ears. So I've got one stuffed and I've almost got this one. It's just, you gotta just get it kind of balled up and put in, like it making spit wads or something. I don't know. There, that one went in better. Yeah. It's so slippery it doesn't even really wad up or anything. You could almost use some fabric as a stuffer just because it would go in better. I do that a lot when I've been making stuffies, is I've been, instead of using polyfill, well, I'll use polyfill with it, but any scraps I have from cutting out things, I'll use that as stuffing too. And in this case, it would work really nice for filling up the ears because it would, you know, kind of go in there. But it's so slippery that it's just like my little paintbrush is going right through it and not pushing it in at all. We're getting it. We're getting it. You could also try reversing this if you wanted and not having the rough edges, but you know, it's just small. I like it the way it is. Oop. You know what? I like grabbed onto it and just ripped it out. Wonder if kind of twirling it here, making it wad up a little. All the progress I had made putting it in there, I took it out in one fell swoop. That just does not work. And this paintbrush is so slippery. It's really not going in there either. It's going right through. Come on. Seriously, just hearing lots of people outside today. I don't know why. I think I'm just gonna maybe go. Oop, I just poked through. I knew that was gonna happen too. Come on, we want to make this. Get her done. See, I was trying to show you it was such a nice, quick project. Okay. I'm gonna. And two, sometimes when I make these stuffies, like it's totally okay to like have a little bit of the fill coming out the side because it kind of looks cute, I think. Be careful when you're doing hot glue gun. No burning the self. Oh, hubby's home. I am busted while crafting. Not that he minds, but you know. All right, let's see. Let's see if we can get him a little more stuffed here. It's so slippery, this stuff. And try not to break through the part. Oh, I know, burning. And I even have those little finger things, Kathy, to put on my fingers. And I end up using like I use anywhere, but did that just go through? It sure did. I end up using anywhere I don't have the glove or the little, finger covers on. This glue gun is not quite as hot as my other glue gun. I really want it to go up in that one ear, but it's going to be okay. We're just going to be okay with it. It's crafting, right? Okay. I'm just like working my way down, stuffing it, and then working my way down. With a little more hot glue on one side. Oops, stuck my finger right into it. I'm sure it's in all the nooks and crannies. As it gets wider, it gets a little easier, obviously, to stuff. So that's good. Nooks and crannies. Gotta kind of roll out the fabric too, because it's rolling in some of the smaller parts of it. Okay, let's put some stuffing in here. Close it up. So this comes with some twine too, to probably put around the neck. And you could also, the other thing that you could use is a cotton ball for the tail if you wanted to hot glue a cotton ball on there. Get this as tight as I possibly can. I do know from experience though, it's really hard to get it around. Hello? It's hard to get the little corners glued down. I'm going to go around his little foot here. And then try to get some polyfill in there. So it's hard to get around the bottom edge if you've got too much going on. Too much stuffing in there. So you kind of got to pull back on the bottom and try to get most of your stuffing up in the top. So this would look really cute, like on your mantle. You could put it in a basket. Boy, I tell you what, I did not do very good about making a hole in his feet so I could fill his feet here. There's just not much room. And I think we're about done with this edge. I might be able to squeeze some in there once we get it shut all the way. It's a little chillier today. I don't know how your weather is, but we've had very fair weather all winter, which is really strange for Idaho. I'm here in Idaho in the United States, and very fair weather. By the way, this little tool works nice too. So it's been kind of an unusual year for us. Just getting it all the way around here. But this morning, we definitely had frost this morning, which we haven't had a ton of this year. So it's like, ooh, that's cold. So I hear what reminds me of that is I hear my husband out there getting the wood because we used up a whole rack of wood today. Not all day. We had it off all day. Okay. Isn't he cute? He's pretty cute. You know what? I'm going to go with, I have like a little baker's twine maybe on this. It is almost exactly his color. I see it here. Just leave that down here. I'm not sure I'm going to have the same, but I kind of like the baker's twine just because it gives a little more color. You could put a little button on him. And of course, we want to trying to get this closed here. And then I'll probably squish around a little bit on his leg and get it out in there. But we're going to put a little bow around his neck with this beautiful baker's twine. I found this in Walmart in the office section. Of all places, they had these 3 packs of different color. It was nice, thick, and different colors of baker's twine. It was it was a while ago. It was on clearance, so they probably don't have it anymore. But I'm just gonna, thought my pliers was a scissors. There we go. Like I said, you could put a little, oh my gosh, he is pretty adorable, isn't he? You can put any ribbon, you could put whatever on here. You could put a little bow on him or a little button. And he's not going to stand up very well, but you could put him in a little basket. He'd be super cute. I think he's cute. What do you guys think? Pretty cute. All right, here we go. I want to start. I learned my lesson on the ears. I want to start like on the little V by the ears and put the ear down. Glued my nail. I didn't even notice I was doing it. So preoccupied with putting it down. You know, it's a busy crafting thing here. Hello, Amy. Thanks for coming on in here. Oh, Indiana. Very good. You have a heat wave here. Yeah, you guys have had, though, a little bit colder, I think, haven't you, for the year? We have not really hardly had any snow whatsoever. And that's not great because we're up in the mountains and we need this. We rely on the snow to keep from forest fires. So it's going to be a bad forest fire year if we don't get something major here soon. But I like the fair weather, but yeah, I don't necessarily want. Isn't he cute? Oh my gosh. So cute. Cute. All right, get some ear fill. Try to get it in there, right? I don't know what the trick is. Maybe a wooden stick would be better if I had one. Maybe a pen. There's got to be the right tools. Oop. And then I just opened that up. So that did me no good. It did not get enough glue there. The goal is not to reopen up where we glued it shut. And like I said, you could even like just make it a little bit more, you know, primitive by letting the stuffing kind of hang out of it totally fine. Do it however you want. I opened up this one too. Why? Why, oh why? Maybe I didn't. Guess it's okay. Trying to just ball it up and throw it in there, but it doesn't even stay in a ball at all. Get it in there, get in there. It might even work just to have like a little piece of pipe cleaner going in there. That would really, just to get it to stand up. That would be cute. Well, and I've got this part open again. Same little part I had on the other one. Just the little V there between the ears. Did not stick very well. I don't know. I just keep lining up the tools. I know this is kind of the boring part, but you kind of get the idea. So I don't know what I'm going to use. I'll try to find. I've got red. I've got blue. This one. I got the exact color. Isn't that cute? That's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use that baker's twine. So I got the 2 baker's twine I need. That's amazing. So you kind of get the idea. I'm going to let you go so you don't have to sit and watch me, but do all the things. Small, yeah. See, that's what I was thinking, was the small pieces of cotton, just sticking that in. Ooh. I have some. I am just going to. Let's try that. Thank you. I appreciate that, Kathy. Try a piece of cotton. Yeah, because this polyfill is just really difficult. And I do want something in these ears. For sure. I don't know, though. I wonder if that might be too big. Put in the polyfill first, a little bit, and then followed it up with the cotton so that the polyfill kind of goes all the way in and fills all the little tiny parts. Please don't tell me. Oh, I do have another hole. You would think I could get it closed. Here. It kind of reminds me, it reminds me of like the old-fashioned guns where you used to like use a piece of wadding to like get it to go in. That's what it reminds me of. You know, like the end part is just a piece of wadding to like get it stuffed in. Little piece of cotton. I don't know. I am just not getting in. I'm telling you what, I'm going to take it into my husband and he's going to be able to do it like in no time. He has more patience with this kind of stuff. I'm like, I got to get this done. I got to go on to the next craft project. Speaking of craft projects, you know, if you have not already found me on Facebook, Prairie Scraps Chalking is my private group, and I'm going to start doing a little extra stuff in my private group there. And right now I just went on live and did all my flannels that I have left. Actually, it's my daughter's too, mostly my daughter's. And so I put them on sale, and just before I pack them away, there you go. You can that worked. I got it a little bit in, or at least it slid in a little bit better, and stuck a little piece of cotton in after it and kind of pushed on the cotton. There it went. And of course I have holes. Got little holes. The cotton went in. Ooh, hot. I kind of did that on purpose because I didn't want a big ball of glue there. Okay. I think I pushed it through again. All right. Now, go in and stay in. This is tricky because I want more stuffing than I'm really able to put in there. I want it full of stuffing. And also the polyfill does like burn when you put smaller pieces. Yeah, it just was not going when I did smaller, so I don't know. I got that one up. That one's pretty good. Now, do the same thing again. Little piece of cotton on the tail end. That worked out nice. I had that little piece of cotton sitting here. The trick is to get this polyfill started so you can end it with the cotton. Oh, oofta. Definitely trying my patience today. This little, I thought it was going to be super easy. It is, really. It's just the stuffing, and I'm sure y'all could do it and have more patience than I do. Like I said, I have like a 5-minute attention span for this kind of thing. I don't know about you guys, but just go. Like for me, the grass is like I lose interest. It's not going in the way I want it to. So then I switch. Yeah, maybe smaller pieces. I don't know. I keep looking. I love these little dolls and stuff that people are making, like sewing, and I keep thinking, oh, I want to do that. And then I think about all the little polyfill you have to do. The filling. That's what I don't like. I don't like doing this part of it. I don't know how you get it in there nicely. Definitely wearing out my rabbit. And I have another hole in that little V between the ears again. Okay, come on. Quit playing around and just go in. There. I heard it. It kind of gives like a shush, swoosh sound when it goes. There it is. Got it. Jeez. Just knocked a hole in it again. I think it's just knocking holes very easily because it's right by the edge of the fabric. Well, as you guys can know, if I can do this, anybody can do this, but be very careful of hot glue. I think if you use fabric glue, like the Fabri-Tac, it would be very hard to get it to stay shut. Honestly, I think it would be nice to use to sew it. If you're a sewer, that would work out really nice. Because I think the sewing would just kind of keep it attached better. Do both sides of the head now. I got the ears good now. We're as good as it's going to get. As much as I have patience for, let's just say that. There we go. We're making progress. I'm excited now. It's starting to look like we're on the end. On the tail end. Yeah, it's just really the ears. Maybe I should just started with fabric and just, little tiny pieces of fabric maybe, or Actually, you know what would also work is cotton balls would work really nice because they kind of keep their stability, their shape. That makes sense. All right, get the polyfill off to one side and get this little neck area glued. Put it down. Almost glues it to my tabletop here. Yep. See, I'm getting like little holes. I'm trying to be sparing with my glue so that I don't have like a big wide flat spot and yet still get it shut. But I'm not totally succeeding. I don't know how doll makers do it. Although I was thinking, I can't make dolls. I mean, I wouldn't want to do all the hair. That's the one thing, because I've been making little dolls for our Operation Christmas Child. I made a little doll to try it out, and I ended up giving it to my granddaughter for Christmas because I just wanted to give her something a little special made by me. And anyway, she had like flat felt hair. There was no like poofy hair to be made on it, which was a saving grace because I was like, I don't think I can do hair. But I was watching a video the other day and someone was actually like hot gluing hair on the doll, and I was like, oh, I would never even think to do that. Like, I guess that's what they do in the stores, right? Or factories when they make dolls. Yeah, I'm like Kathy. I am either one. I like to sew, but my sewing machine's in the house, so it's not as easy to do sewing. And usually when I'm crafting, I'm going at it. I'm ready. I'm going. I'm just busy doing it, so I don't want to wait to go and, I finally got my sewing machine in the house set up on a cabinet. I'm just going to stuff the rest of this in here. I've got my sewing cabinet kind of going. These feet are a little bit bigger, I think, than the other one, or something. Something's different because I'm able to get that polyfill into the feet area. All right, I'm going to push it all back. It'll come back. Trust me, it's expandable in a major way. Just to get this closed here. But for, time, it's definitely quicker and easier to just go ahead and hot glue. Especially now that they have fabric hot glue. Amazing. Not gonna lie. Oh yeah, look at, I am just batting a thousand, literally, with my batting here. I'm just not even, when I squeeze it in there, it's not even going. I'm used to my really hot cordless. Ooh, that one was really hot though. Cordless. If I cry, will you feel bad for me? No. If you want to get this little club project, it is a very sweet one. Obviously, do not let the children do the hot glue part of it because it's dangerous. If you haven't learned that from this video, you've learned nothing. Okay, I know, hot glue, you can hot glue yarn here. I know, that's what they were doing, and I don't know, I was thinking it had to be like hand stitched on or something. So I was like, oh, that was like a whole new thing. So That was why I was staying away from doing doll hair. Okay, let's get this last little bit. I can't believe I have baker's twine in the right. This, you guys, are you like keepers, hoarders? I might be a hoarder, as evidenced by having the exact color of baker's twine. I don't know. I've never even used this, I don't think. Crazy, huh? Crazy, crazy. All right, we'll cut this off. Here we go. And I'm not even going to use that piece of twine I got. I still have that. So you have twine that comes with it. But there we go. We are done. Score. It is just under an hour, but you guys saw it's me. It's operator issues with the gluing that was the hardest part. Definitely not. And it's double-sided. And like I said, I'm probably going to be looking for some little cotton balls or, you know, puff balls to put, or what do you call them? Puff balls to put up for their little tails. I think that would be really cute. But thanks so much for watching. I hope that you got something out of this, learned a lot about a lot of what not to do today. But aren't they the most darling thing? And like I said, it's a club project. We'll be doing some more projects probably with these patterns. I appreciate you all. I hope you have a very blessed evening, and make sure you keep on crafting.